Hey, how's it going, guys? Here with Ben, goes by Bob1234 on 2+2, and I thought I'd interview him because, like, he's an interesting character. I've known him for a couple years now. He posted Poker Challenges. He's got a blog in there, so I'll link that up. So I just wanted to ask you, like, what's it like reading and reviewing poker books? Because you've done a lot of those in your blog.
Yeah, it's been really fun. So my background is I went to school for literature, studied English, and read a lot of the writers that I guess you're supposed to read. And that was really enjoyable for me. And then I've been playing poker for a long time, and had the idea, well, what if I kind of blend my interest in poker and writing and reading, and so that kind of led me into the realm of poker literature, which is sort of like an obscure area, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, I found a few gems.
Yeah, you definitely done a lot of books I never heard of.
Yeah.
Like, there's like, poker books after the boom, and there's poker books before the boom. There's a lot different culture-wise.
Sure, yeah. So I mean, just to kind of mention a few of my favorites, I guess. A few of the books that have been mentioned by a lot of poker readers, I also like share their enjoyment. Like Biggest Game in Town by Alvarez is probably my favorite piece of poker nonfiction. So it is basically an account of, I think, the 1981 World Series of Poker. And if you guys are interested in like a glimpse of like the pre-poker boom, Stu Unger, Doyle Brunson, Johnny Moss era, Alvarez is this English writer. He's a poet, he's a critic, and he goes to WSOP and really just gets into the lives of these guys who are wagering hundreds of thousands of dollars and living in this surreal world. And he writes beautifully, and he really has a knack for just engaging with these high-stakes poker players in a way that no one had ever done before. So that's probably the top of my list.
It's kind of a secret society, and like to have them like crack it and like expose it. That's kind of
exactly.
Little clips into like the underground.
Yeah.
So now, aside from like viewing books, you've also been like interviewing different people for 2+2. Is that right?
That is right, and you would know about that since one of the first interviews that I ever did was with this guy.
Yeah, that was that 2 years ago,
Yeah,
right?
I think so. So, again, like I've come to poker kind of late-ish as like a subject of interest, and so I have really enjoyed just like not only reading poker literature, poker fiction, nonfiction, but also talking to players. And so I am based out of New Orleans, and my long-term project is a nonfiction book about poker in New Orleans. Poker was born down in New Orleans on the riverboats in the 1800s, and my main goal is really to just kind of become part of the culture down there, talk to people. And before I moved to NOLA, I went on a road trip across a good part of the country, did kind of a big counterclockwise loop from Florida to the Northeast, to the Midwest, to Montana, where my brother was living, and then I came here, and I don't think you were the first person that I interviewed, but you were one of the first, and it was great to just get like a window into Vegas poker culture and how you found your way here, because you're from California, right? Yeah. So I have really enjoyed, probably my favorite part of writing about poker is just connecting with all the different people in the poker world, because
it's very interesting, very like eclectic group,
so super
people, like people from all walks of life get brought into poker, catch the poker bug. But yeah, it's cool that you did the traveling and all that and interviewing. So as far as playing poker, what do you think are like the three most important things to playing poker well?
That's a good question. So I think just some of the kind of the qualities that are important in any craft, whether it's art or teaching or engineering, I think are just as applicable to poker. Things like discipline and patience, and I think balance is one of the most important things that I try to work on.
Life balance?
Yeah. So I think that it's very difficult to strike the right balance when you're playing poker seriously and you are responsible for carving out a weekly schedule, a monthly schedule, there's obviously not a lot of oversight. There are a lot of pitfalls, as we all know. I mean, we're just coming from a game, and one of the guys was like, yeah, my buddy just dunked off 5K in blackjacks, the pit game, this kind of thing. So I think that like finding a right balance and finding a right structure for your approach to poker is very important. I also think, just to kind of give a more concrete answer in terms of like approaching at the table, one thing I've been trying to focus on lately is thinking in terms of ranges and not how I'm just playing like my particular hand, like someone raises, I have the ace king on the button, but trying to think about like how I'd play my entire range in that spot. So I'm working through that. It's forced me to sort of break down my assumptions about how I approach poker in the past, and so I think like hand ranges is important, and also broadly just like discipline, patience, and balance.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah, I mean it's really different for everyone, I guess, to find what exactly is the right balance. Because everyone's life is different, but trying to figure out how much poker play and getting on a schedule. That's self-management. Yeah, it's all comes down to like managing yourself, just like anything else. So now your writing project. I'm really looking forward to that because I think that's a really cool subject, and you seem to have done a lot of research, and I've liked all writing them. So when is that going to come out?
Your guess is as good as
just you're still working out, but maybe within the year.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, so
it's like a full-fledged book, right?
It's a book project. I mean, I don't. So I came into this project with, I come from a background of writing like essays and criticism and that kind of thing. And what I'm doing now is essentially, like I've described it as maybe immersive journalism, where I'm really trying to spend a lot of time in a particular subculture, and in this case it's New Orleans poker scene, and just kind of embedding myself in that culture, being around, and trying to develop relationships and becoming part of that room.
It's like you're a secret agent or something.
I'm a secret agent, except I'm nothing secretive about the project.
If they find out, they're not going to kill you.
Yeah, it's not like I'm
just writing a book, guys.
Yeah, I'm not trying to infiltrate the mob or anything like that. Yeah. And so the goal is to really hone in on the lives of a handful of the most interesting regulars, spend time with them, and capture their stories, not just their poker stories, but just like why they came to poker, to use poker as a springboard into their lives, and I'm not interested just in poker pros, but just people who spend a lot of time in that particular room. So I guess all this is to say that like the project is probably going to take a long time. I've already
you want to do a good job, you want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm not rushing myself. I would say that I'm hoping to have it finished within a couple of years.
Okay, sounds great. I'll be looking out for that. And so, also this summer you've been doing some live recording. How was that?
Yeah, so it's been going well so far. I have only about a week of experience under my belt, but I feel like I've learned a lot. And I have just joined the WSOP live recording team. Every day I've been assigned to a particular tournament, so I did a day of the Colossus, I did a potential No Limit, I'm going to be doing the Million Maker tomorrow, and I would describe it as just kind of play-by-play. So we're around and we are trying to just keep our eyes and ears open to big names, big pots, and so that's been really fun. I mean, the days are long, but I'm in the Rio, and I'm among some of the biggest names and some of the most exciting action, so I've really enjoyed just kind of taking it all in.
Cool. So any last words you want to share with the poker community? What's next for, besides the book, anything on the agenda?
No, just gonna keep moving forward. Yeah, I've really enjoyed and kind of entering the poker world and a little bit more seriously, and merging what was previously a recreational interest in poker with something a little bit more serious, and I want to keep it going, so I'm excited.
Appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks a lot, man.
See you guys.